Hey guys, this is Brandon with Investment Joy, and I got my stimulus money. I kid you not, this is my stimulus money, but it's not from the government, at least directly to me. This is laundromat money, and it's crazy. And I want to talk about the stimulus and what's going on with the stimulus and EIDL and all that stuff right now. Do me a huge favor and hit the like button. Subscribe to my channel if you never have before so we can get in this. And do me a favor, watch the whole freaking video because it'll help the trending and it'll go out to other people. So here we go. I personally have applied for the stimulus since I'm actually eligible. And so far, I haven't got it. I've also done the EIDL loans, which is a thing that business owners can apply for and hopefully get stimulus help from the Small Business Administration. I actually applied to that within 2 hours of it being eligible. I submitted one of my LLCs for my rental business. It took till 2 days ago. I got an email with a hard, not a soft credit pull from the Small Business Administration, and so far I haven't got any sort of direct payment yet. I'm kind of hopeful, but we will see. I really wanted to talk to those of you that watch my channels and maybe some of you who are new and have this conversation about the stimulus, whether it's having an impact on your business, EIDL, and for those of you that have applied to the Paycheck Protection Program or Payroll Protection Program. I've talked to a lot of people that are in business and they feel left out through the PPP program, but there's also a way, if you are self-employed, to get that money by putting yourself on payroll, which is a really odd situation because I have actually been doing that with this YouTube channel. One of the workarounds or the ways to get a little bit of a tax preferential status for a business owner, specifically my YouTube videos, it pays into a Chapter S corporation, an S Corp. And with an S Corp, it is typically preferable to take a salary, to take payroll, and pay those taxes as opposed to paying self-employment taxes. I've talked to a couple people who have the understanding that if you do that for 8 weeks, you may very well be eligible for the PPP program, which is a 1% loan, not a 0.5% as some people had talked about it. It's actually a 1% loan. It's a pretty good deal. And there's some deferments early on so you don't have to make payments for the first few months. The SBA program could be up to 30 years, the EIDL program, which is insane. It's almost like a mortgage. 6 months of initial deferrals, and the interest rate is just about 3.75%, which is a really good deal. Now, one thing that I have noticed, or I've read on Reddit here recently, some business owners have been offered up to $500,000 from the EIDL program through the SBA. As it is yet, no one that I'm aware has been funded with a very high mid-six-figure amount, but from what I tell, they're pending. The first step was their application. Some of them talked to somebody at SBA, then the next step was a hard credit pull, and then some of them were given access to a different version of the SBA website. And I've seen several screenshots, and they look legitimate, and they are all essentially showing the same data that you can select your loan amount. But in the cases of those businesses, they were doing between $1.5 and $2 million worth of gross sales. Then after expenses, it went down, which is a really interesting thing. It almost seems to me that the SBA is trying to give businesses a little bit of a float amounts to cover the expenses of a business, payroll, things of that nature. And as many of you know, if you do get the loan, you could be eligible for up to a $10,000 loan forgiveness. Some people call it a grant. I don't know whether that's a grant, but that's also there. But in the grand scheme of all this, they're running out of money. They have had over 1 million businesses apply. There's not enough money to go. The payroll protection program is already dry, and now they're considering going back to Congress and asking actually for more money, which is crazy. And this whole thing's playing out, and me with my little laundromat, we're getting money. We're doing great. We actually had our best week In terms of revenue, be watching for that video. I've got a 2-part series coming up on the coronavirus and my laundromat. It's craziness, and it's just something that our sales are up a ton. But then I am also talking to vendors who help supply me with things with a laundromat, and they are in dire straits. One business indicated to me that their sales or revenue are down about 80%. They've had to shutter multiple millions of dollars worth of their operation. Through this, they applied for multiple EIDL loans, and I'm actually meeting with them tomorrow to get an update for it. So I'll have an update video on that tomorrow. With the studio finally being completed, I'm going all out on content to keep you guys informed about what's going on in a small community with COVID, the coronavirus, and the economic fallout that's transpiring from all of this. It's a wonderful time to invest, but holy crap, there are so many businesses that right now are either close to bankruptcy or it's in the cards. My newspaper, some of you guys know that I run a local hometown newspaper. We have about 50,000 online subscribers that read our content on a regular basis. We are up there with the Columbus Dispatch in terms of the number of people that regularly read our content. If you're from Central Ohio, you've probably heard of the Columbus Dispatch. And we are being contacted by multiple businesses who are indicating to us they're pulling all the advertisement. They don't know what they're going to do. We've even found out and been contacted that some businesses are continuing to operate illegally, at least as opposed to what the quarantine rules and the essential versus non-essential business breakdown is in the state of Ohio. I've already talked to somebody that is doing black market haircuts for $50 a piece. It's why I am bald right now. I had an accident or an incident with a pair of hair trimmer, and I had to shave my hair off. It was 1 inch on one side, 1/4 inch on the other. And so I'm seeing all these shady businesses start to function. Meanwhile, in the background, EIDL and these different loan programs are trying to bail people out. We've got the stimulus. I have talked to an unbelievable number of people who have already got their stimulus. I'll put it in the comment section down below. From what I'm hearing, the government's now telling people if you have not received your stimulus yet, you might want to try and reapply. A crap load of people are getting it. A crap load of people have not. My mom is one. She's on SSI, very minimal income. She's applied for it. She has not got her stimulus money yet. My brother is selling over $1,000 a day worth of appliances right now on Facebook Marketplace. So he is seeing just phenomenal amounts of stimulus income right now. But the thing is, there's this tidal wave of cash that's being deployed into the economy, but many market segments aren't getting it. Holy crap, guys. Restaurants are one of those segments that are not seeing any money right now. We were 3 days in to coronavirus and the quarantine, and one of our great steakhouses announced this is it. We cannot go on any longer. We're not going to open up doors regardless of how short this is, how long it is. It's going bankrupt. They shut down. They furloughed all their employees. Some people thought that it was a deal with unemployment, and it wasn't. I mean, the workers are now getting unemployment because the business failed. They would have been eligible likely anyway, but the business is never going to open up again. A steakhouse that did $2 to $3 million a year in revenue, chain restaurant for the most part, was owned by a local entrepreneur, and it's bankrupt. It's crazy out there, guys. And as these things happen, you could take your own stimulus money and you could invest it in a business. You could invest it in stocks. I'm a big fan of the stock market, buying broad mutual funds. I am up like crazy. I've been buying REITs. We'll do a separate video on where I'm putting my money and my kids' money on REITs. If you think that real estate's going to come back 2, 3, 4 years from now, there's some REIT plays that should make between 15 and 25% returns, passive income type returns. I hate that term, but I'm going to use it. But then the stimulus money is being deployed. I've been seeing people with new cars, Hyundai, GM, Ford. They all have 0% interest programs with 84 months of 84-month loan amortization rates. It's crazy. And capital's being deployed, but then on the other hand, Ford is burning $1.2 billion worth of cash every week that they're closed right now. So we're in crazy times. It's going to be like a catching a falling dagger contest. You might win, you might lose, and all this stuff is just blowing up and going crazy. I'm going to do my best here at the new studio to update you guys on a regular basis. I already had one landlord mention to me in my local marketplace only 50% of their tenants have gone and they have paid their rent, which is insane. I mean, that blows my mind. They some have not contacted their landlord. As of today, I'm at 81.5% or so rent collected. My red line in the sand is about 40-45%. So I'm doing just fine. This is a point that I should be expanding my business, but I'm not. And the reason is my management system sucks. And it's all on me, no one else. I'm in the current process of hiring a manager. So a word of caution out there to those of you that are looking at the market, both real estate, local businesses, whatever, and you're seeing opportunities arise, and there will be crap loads of opportunities, but you need to realize that you have to have the skills associated with running a business, doing accounting, doing marketing, understanding finances of it, being able to hustle, being able to manage those businesses as they fall and collapse, and you can pick them up at a fire sale. Then the wave of retirements, people getting out of the marketplace and just not wanting to have anything to do with it. So I appreciate every one of you watching. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching.